take a third base, and although he opened up with the vultures, he's probably going to start playing pretty passive here.
Yeah, for sure he's going to start playing passive. I mean, if he's getting his third base up, he doesn't need to make any kind of moves. He's going to jump off to an economic lead. I mean, I think it's a good play by fOrGG because right now he still kind of has that map control, the mobility provided to him by the vultures, and the fact that he can lay mines all across the map and basically stall C from getting anywhere for so long. Just allows him to take that third with impunity, and I mean, there's nothing that C can do about it really. So well played by fOrGG. I mean, it's just funny how, I mean, C is doing the exact same build as he did last game pretty much, and fOrGG doing almost the exact same thing that go.go was doing last game, and it's going to work out to his advantage, definitely. I mean, he's getting the third base up before C again, even though he is behind in tank count now. It's not making a huge impact. So C actually going to take the command center in the middle of the map. He's not going to be nearly as behind as he was in last game, so that's good. You don't want to see him get off to a huge disadvantage right from the get-go. But again, like, I don't know what he's really trying to accomplish with this build. I mean, he basically gives up map control at the beginning of the game. I don't know why you would want to do that. What could be some reasons why he's choosing to do this build as opposed to a vulture map build where he gets map control?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, it's really strange, and style of player, definitely you want to be as comfortable as possible. You want to do, even if a build may not be the most effective build, if you're more comfortable with it and you make better decisions with it, and that's normally what you do. But as we saw from the last game that C played, his decision making just wasn't on par, and he just didn't seem comfortable. So from that perspective, I don't really know why C's going for this kind of play. And now right away as we see fOrGG, a lot, I don't want to say smarter, but just a lot overall better decision maker than go.go, immediately switching to tanks after he produced that, initial massive vultures. And so fOrGG already, keeping right up to C on the tank count. And once he gets that third gas secured, he's going to be able to start, start a starport and start getting some dropships and maybe taking map control. C taking the upper right and doing exactly what I was hoping he would do in this game. And his real problem last game was that he just did not expand aggressively enough, and he didn't keep the economic advantage. And I don't think, C's unit control was a lot better, and although go.go made decisions, I think C definitely wasn't behind that much in terms of military. And if C just expanded a little bit more aggressively and held his bases, he would have been in just a fine position. I think he definitely could have even maybe played even or took that last game, where it just seemed like go.go just had control of the game the entire time because he was willing to take risks and throw down CCs. And I think fOrGG, unless those are mines, I think fOrGG might be taking the CC in the mid-left and starport going down for both players, so you're getting his SCV stuck there, and that's actually something I see do quite a lot. I saw him do that on a game on Katrina as well, where his very first factory he got the SCV stuck behind there. So just a fun fact. Actually, another fun fact, fOrGG's team, LeCaf Oz, actually changed their name to Hwasung Pro Game Team. So now, really? Along with Woongjin Stars, we have another random-ass Korean name that we don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, really.
Hwas. I think the most interesting about that name is that, I mean, I guess just to clear up any confusion, right in the name, Pro Gaming Team. I mean, just, everybody's really going to know what they're about. Hwasung Pro Gaming Team. I think the Toronto Raptors should rename themselves the Toronto Basketball Team. I think that would be a good move here, just in case people didn't know what they were really about. It's a good thing for them that they have fOrGG and Jaedong anytime. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, that team was really very pathetic and they couldn't win anything. And at that time, someone would have needed to name them Pro Gaming Team because you couldn't have even have told that they were pros. They're doing pretty well now, though. It looks like it's pretty much a stalemate here in this game so far in terms of both players have control of certain levels of the high ground, and neither player can advance across the map, so they're both going to have to wait for dropships. C definitely doing a much better job with the expanding. He's got his fourth gas up before fOrGG did. He's actually, okay, looks like C is going for a double starport here. Those are probably going to be rates. I can't imagine that he's going to want to go BCs this early in the game, especially with only 2 starports. He's already got a starport for dropship, so those are probably going to be for rates. He's going to go for some dropship picking off kind of strategy. which, I mean, if he does it well, it can be a huge factor in the game for sure. Oh no, he's got a physics lab. Those actually are going to be battle cruisers. So we see
15-minute battle cruiser timing put.
Yeah, this must be something he learned from FBH. I mean, what a crazy strategy.
Yeah, really interesting that C's switching to BCs this early. I mean, I guess we do see C deviate for something. And, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure if this is going to be in fOrGG actually lifting his science facility, so not producing a physics lab, which I would imagine he wouldn't. And fOrGG actually does not have that mid-left expansion. He can't even get those refineries, or you can't even get that one refinery, you can't even get the tanks in position. And yeah, so C is going to have 3 starports. He's going to be able, you know, he's got 5 bases, I think, and even though that one, I think, is kind of a strange base, it looks like it has 3 minerals and 1 Vespane geyser, kind of like,
yeah, that's what it is.
Gosh,
it's pretty much a gas only.
Is the map Tiamat, or I think that's that's the last map I think I remember that had that. And actually the MSL had that map too. I think that was in the Arena MSL when they played Tiamat, and that actually had a 3 mineral and a gas only expansion. And fOrGG now with the dropships, and see if he decides to go for the battlecruiser build, he's not going to have any dropships, and he's really going to suffer on mobility. And it looks like I actually see producing a couple dropships, and actually with 3 starports, he could actually produce like 2 dropships each and then just keep them alive. But for a period of time here, and actually the first battlecruiser for C is already out, so he's not joking around with this move here, and he's really probably. Yeah, I mean, he's going to need to use it right away here, I guess, if he's pulling it up. He's not going to try and hide them and build them up or anything, but I think he really probably is going to need to use them when he's trying to hold his expansions, because fOrGG really isn't that behind. I would say fOrGG is actually still on par or equal with C's economy, so I think C's best bet here would be to save up BCs and just cut the map in half, and then use the BCs to kind of, once he builds up a large mass of them, just try and take out command centers. I don't think using them right now would be such a great decision.
Yeah, I don't know why he would fly that command center. I mean, sorry, the BC down there. All he's really doing with that is he's showing fOrGG that he has a BC. fOrGG, okay, now fOrGG looks like we're seeing from his screen that he actually scanned and saw that. I don't know if he saw the BCs. He might be thinking that that's their dropships coming out, but he probably is going to figure it out. fOrGG definitely playing standard, getting lots of dropships, so he's going to have a huge mobility advantage here. They're both have pretty much their entire halves of the map right now, even though C got his out a little earlier. Wow, C's actually built up a whole bunch more starports, so he's going for heavy battle cruisers here. I mean, it's something he can definitely do because he did kind of take his bases earlier, and he got a lot of gases very early, but at the same time, it's all going to come down now to how well C can hold his expansions. It's going to be much harder for him to get his army across the map, so if fOrGG makes a huge drop on one of C's bases, it's going to be really hard for C to get units in time to save it. But at the same time, if he's able to build up a large force of battle cruisers before fOrGG is ready for them, it's going to be really tough for fOrGG to win the game. He's going to be basically at his mercy. Even though Goliath's... Okay, it looks like fOrGG is going for a drop here, but it's not going to... I mean, he's going to be completely held off by C. I think one of the things that makes this a good strategy is actually the map. So C, actually using the map to his advantage. With this map, the bases actually aren't that far apart. There's not that much spaces between them, the different bases in the map, so this is definitely a good map to do it on. It looks like fOrGG is going to go Wraiths to counter the BCs, even though he's not building anything there yet. That looks like what he's doing. He's researching Cloak right now. So this is going to be a pretty interesting game. Now, something we don't see very often. C moving out with the BCs already, with about 4 BCs, just picking off some tanks here. Oh, sorry, that was 5 BCs. Did you get a look? Is he upgrading the BCs? Did you notice?
I'd have to imagine. I saw both players actually got the early armories. So he doesn't have any upgrades yet. I think he may be getting +1. I didn't see actually. I mean, hopefully, yeah, it looks like actually 1-1 here for the BCs from the quality of the video. But one thing I want to point out here is I didn't do too much study on this map, but from looking at it, that left base that C's attacking right now, and it looks like C's actually may be able to take that command center out. And I guess it's kind of interesting how that refinery is placed like that, so you can't actually sell the refinery, but huge drop coming from fOrGG, and C's tank count is really limited because he's producing so many battle cruisers, and fOrGG's going to need to get something done here with this drop. I mean, he cleared out C's containment, and now he's going to be able to flood in troops. C does have a few tanks, but he's using them to shell that one base. I think C's only have